Welcome to another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 31-year-old from Lindsay, Ontario, Canada. His hockey journey has taken him to Canada, the USA, and England. A staple with his hometown Lindsay Muskies before running amok with the Victoria Grizzlies and College of the Holy Cross, where he captained the team as a goalie, folks, confirmed leader, and was on the NCAA All-Rookie team and first team All-Star. Broke into pro with the Florida Everblades and probably went to the Lonnie Kai. Folks, he was a swamp rabbit for one game, but he is best known as a legend of the Manchester Storm, where he has gone from goaltending superstar and EIHL second team All-Star like yours truly to just recently being named the head coach at 31 years old. Welcome to the shed, Matt Ginn or Ginn.
Hey, thanks for having me, Wally. I'm excited. And couple crossovers there, eh? That definitely been to the Lonnie Kai.
Have you?
Oh yeah, right away. Well, I went down. It was like
shed favorite.
I want to say school break or something. So
it wasn't when you were playing for the Everblades.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you went down just for spring break. It wasn't as an Everblade.
No, it was as an Everblade.
Okay, I was gonna say. So did you go to Legs and Eggs? Do you know what that is?
I actually never did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Sickos, right? Okay. Anyways, I get into how we know each other. So Finner, shed guy, shed legend, really. He's in the top 5 episodes ever there with one of his, and he told me you were the guy back when he came to the shed last time.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be coaching. It was kind of I guess, blessing in disguise there, getting old, hip of a 80-year-old, and had to kind of retire. And I was lucky enough last year to help him out. He asked if I wanted to help him out coaching, as we kind of figured that my career's done. And one thing led to another, and I loved it. And he wanted to kind of step back into just the GM role and asked if I'd like to get the coaching job. And it was an easy yes for me.
Everything fell into place, you could say.
Yeah, exactly.
When I got injured and my career ended with Cardiff, they made me get naked and spray paint myself and do pregame speeches. I never got to coach.
Yeah, well, that might have been how I started out, but
actually, I did get to help out the power play, but other than that, just acting like a donkey, really. Other ways I get into how we know each other. Okay, when I posted you were coming on, Deese wrote, "What an effing beauty." And if he says that about you, I am jazzed for today because he's one of my favorites. And if he says that about you, I'm excited.
Geez, what a beauty that guy is.
Yeah. Was he still? So you had him in Manchester as the equipment guy?
Yeah, my first year there, he came in maybe a month into the year or so and brought his
aura,
abnormally small sneakers and
big tongues.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen someone go tongues out on their shoes before, but
not at that age, right?
No.
I think he wears a lot of pumps too at this age too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually pumps up his shoes still or not. Not sure if he can tie them. But yeah, he's a beauty too. Anyways, and then another way, because it's a small world, right? In the shed here, you post it. The other guy sent me a fire emoji. Derek Nesbitt.
Oh yeah, Nezzy, legend of anywhere he's been, the coast, you name it.
Yeah, so you guys were together in Atlanta, eh?
Yep. So after the Everblades year there, I signed with Providence, and their affiliate was Atlanta. So I was there for 3 years. I was mostly in Atlanta. And of course, Nezzy was there. I think it was actually his first year.
He was just a legend already back then, eh?
Oh yeah. Well, he was there for a while, and then he went overseas, I think, for a year.
Just one, so. Yeah. He's been to the shed twice. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was his first year back when I was there. So he's a great guy. We still stay in touch, and maybe had a couple Leahys together.
Well, when those two guys vouch for you, that's like when I don't know guys, and then I'm having them on, and then when people write stuff like that's how you're going to recruit a hockey team, isn't it? It's by figuring out from the good guys who the other good guys are.
Exactly. You nailed it.
Yeah. So I guess that's what you're going to be getting into here. But yeah, that's what they said to me. And yeah, Finner did say any new coaches in the EIHL pretty much should be mandatory shed visits. So myself and the fans can just search deep into their souls.
And endear myself to all the fan bases.
Yeah, so they know everything about you. Okay. So where and what are you doing now?
So I'm back in Lindsay, Ontario, for a little bit, and basically just on the phone all day, every day, trying to recruit some guys and talk to guys and talk with Finner, and yeah, busy that way.
I got a
Um,
question. You do any
yeah,
of it on video?
no, I never have done that.
Because I feel like I can really get to know guys with video,
Yeah,
just
well, I've
thinking
got
out
it set
loud,
up here in my white walls bedroom.
So yeah, if you were airing all that, it's pretty much like doing a pod, right?
Exactly.
You're trying to figure out who's good guys and who's available and where everybody's going and all that shit, eh?
Exactly.
So are you leaning on the agents, buddies, or former coaches more?
Uh, I'd say a little of everything, honestly. Like you said, the hockey world's so small, so I know so many guys and have played with and against them. So it's kind of easy that way. You still have your foot in the door, and then also yeah, I'm relying on the agents as well. And kind of Finner too. He's been doing it for a long time. So
Well, he was a
if you
master
have
recruiter with Brayhead back in the day.
Yeah, well, I see it. He's likes to talk a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, he's a good speaker there. But no, it's definitely been a bit eye opening actually.
How much is
think,
involved in it?
yeah, exactly. And then you think you're like, oh, I found this like diamond in the rough, and he's like, oh yeah, I've already talked to like this team, this team, this team, and but no, it's going pretty well. I think we've only announced maybe a couple anyways, but we have some more signings, and they'll be announced kind of.
You guys all play that game where you gotta do the big song and dance, right? Every
Yeah.
Friday or every Wednesday at this time, wake up and smile, right?
Yeah.
So you got a couple good ones signed then?
Yeah, we think so.
Oh, yeah. So how's the budget this year? Finner giving you some money to play with?
I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about that?
I don't know. You're new on the job. Maybe you should.
Yeah. Everything's great.
But he did talk about it in his episode, and he said that one of his biggest challenges coaching Manchester is that it was a lower budget team, and that it's hard to retain guys because if they have a great year, they get scooped up by the big boys or try to go to other leagues. And if they don't do good, then you kind of want to get someone new anyways.
Yeah, no, I actually listened to that and I was laughing at the line, but he's right. You bring in guys and being a low, you want them to have a great year, and but it also works as a recruiting tool. You can be like, hey, look, you have a good year here, and opens up some other doors for you down the road. But I know, speaking for myself, when I went there, I just love the city so much. I had opportunities to kind of go elsewhere in Europe, and you kind of sacrifice whether you're living in Manchester or far east of
there's there's definitely some perks to living in the UK, no doubt about it, especially a city like Manchester, because there are cities that you may get paid more in that you might not want to spend 8 months in, right?
Oh, you said it.
But there's some beautiful places too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not as beautiful as Manchester though, if any players are listening.
There you go. I think Ethan Skinner's listening, fella that lives right around the corner. He's available, just so let you know. But yeah, he's a player, just needs to get a chance. Okay. Small town guy like yourself, small town Ontario,
Written him down already.
There you go. Okay. Diamond in the rough, but you'd have to pay him after he runs amok this year. Okay. Anyways, what else do I got here? So you're in Lindsay. How long are you there for?
I think probably the end of July, and then I'll head back over depending. Yeah, I would say around that time. Get there for kind of a month or so before the guys get in, and yeah.
Is that when it's starting, around the end of August? They don't have to come till?
That's like the first exhibition game, I think, or preseason game, whatever you call it. But they'll come over, I'd say, a couple weeks before that.
So who does all the scheduling of that shit? Is it the coach? Like scheduling exhibition games and like when you're gonna play? And
no, that's some coaches probably do it, but that's Ryan and Jamie. They did all
and they just tell you when the games are, and then
I'll just show up with the guys and ready to go.
Perfect. Yeah, that works. How big's Lindsay? It was a single A town back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, single A town. I would say it kind of changed because it switched to the city of Kawartha Lakes, but I think Lindsay itself's probably 25,000, give or take.
Yeah, I think they had a strong 83 age group. Just so
I
you know.
think they did actually. The Muskies back then, when I went and watched, were like a powerhouse.
Yeah, no, I'm
And I
pretty
think
sure
it was
they did.
around
I'm
that
not,
age.
I don't think I'm making it up. I think when we went to tournaments, it was Woolwich Township first, first Lindsay, or Kawartha Lakes they became.
Clash
Yes.
of the Titans, yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so then recruiting your first teams, I got any honey holes you're gonna be going to, or is it certain guys, certain agents, or how are you gonna do this? Are you gonna find a player and then the research team gets hot and sees who he's played with?
Yeah, that's honestly, it's funny you ask. That's kind of a main thing for me is you go back and see who he's played with, who I know, cross over, and then a lot of it, like it's
Bring
easy to
out all
watch
their
video and
skeletons and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you watch video and see kind of what a guy's about. But big for me is like being a good teammate. It's kind of how I like to think I was, and I think that's how good teams are built, honestly. So you ask like guys you know or have played with or against, like what kind of guy this guy is, good teammate, and all that kind of stuff.
I
I think
think
is important.
you're onto something because like I said, with Dees and Nezzy on your back and Finner obviously was grooming you, and sounds like you're a swell guy. And the reason I do that was because like I don't have much time in the day with everything I got going on. And I don't know where you thought I was, but I was like, how about lunchtime? And you were willing to wake up at 6 a.m. because you thought I was like overseas, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, you said it, and
And
I'm
I was like,
"Oh,
dude, that's my job. I'm the podcast host. I'll get up at 6 a.m. for you. You don't have to do that for me. But you basically said you were willing. And I was like, geez, this guy is nice.
yeah, well, I don't sleep in it so long anymore with that hip and back and just 31 and an 80-year-old's body over here. So,
That's
but
tough.
no, I just assume you're kind of in the UK. I don't know why.
Yeah, no,
And then yeah, I was like, ooh,
because
that might be a bit early, but I can
it
make
is
it work.
weird that my fans are in the UK and I'm in my shed in Kincard in Ontario, but what can you
Good from
do?
afar.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's do this. Growing up in Lindsay, Ontario, then were you a
Yeah.
goalie right off the hop? How'd you get into hockey?
No, so I think you started skating like 3 years old, kind of thing. And once I kind of started getting into it a bit, my dad's like, "You're not playing goalie. You're not playing goalie." And then even the year, like they kind of rotate everybody through the goalie position. I think we were away at a tournament and he was working, and
They
so
put you
naturally
in.
I volunteered to play goalie, and it went well. And then he kind of got talked into it from the coach, and then next year was full on goalie.
And how old were you at that age?
I was probably, I don't know, 6 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really remember. A long time ago.
No, but that's cool how it starts, right? And you do see some kids just go in and then they're like into it, right?
Yeah.
But usually a lot of them like it in road hockey, right? They all want to be goalies in road hockey. And then I find it very interesting
you're
for
an actual
goalies.
goalie, then
Right.
you hate it.
And the actual goalies in the world, once they retire, they all want to play out. And then old timers doesn't even have any goalies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why would
Even
you
in the
want to go
summer,
get
like,
up and down, dude? That's exhausting.
yeah, you're either stand up goalie or goal scorer.
Yeah, if I fall down and like if I ever skated and fell down, trying to get up would suck. I don't know, couldn't imagine being a goalie diving all over the place. Stupid. Okay, sorry. Moving
Oh,
on.
you're
So,
good.
so then you played for the hometown single A team then for a while. What age did you leave for the Central Ontario Wolves?
So I actually played for the single A team in minor novice, but I was a year younger. So I played up for them, and then I went to the Wolves
Right away.
Start at minor novice and played all the way through to minor midget.
So where is that out of Central Ontario Wolves?
It's like the Kawartha Lakes, but I would say the main hub.
So you're not traveling too far for your practices or anything. It's right there.
Yeah, it's probably, you could travel up to like 20 minutes. The guys in Halliburton, like Duchesne there, he was on my team, and he had like
I had that down. Matt Duchesne, he's
Yeah.
running a muck of a career. Right?
Yeah, he's not bad. He is unbelievable. Still, yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lived up in Halliburton, and he had probably an hour plus ride to practices and stuff. So
Yeah, the small areas, right? So then the Lindsay hometown single A team probably sucked once the Wolves thing started, eh?
yeah, I had some buddies on that team. I think they did pretty well actually, but it's yeah.
Well, when the best players from a small town leave, it's pretty tough to compete. But anyways, so then you end up making your hometown Lindsay Muskies, eh?
Yep. Yeah.
Big
When
day.
I was 16, I signed there.
Pretty big day for you to play for the hometown team.
Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah. Playing
Yeah.
junior as 16 was kind of cool.
Living at home then for 3 years.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Had to get special permission, I think, to go to the rookie party. Couldn't hide that one.
Yeah, with my parents, I mean, it was, oh yeah, they knew what was going on. We
Yeah,
had a rookie party
exactly,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah. Yeah. Rookie parties back with the 83 borns. A little different than nowadays, I think.
Yeah. We'll just leave those in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So was your Central Ontario Wolves teams good? The AAA team?
Yeah, we were good. In minor midget, we lost in like the gold medal game there in the OMHAs to the Whitby Wildcats. And then we went to the OHL Cup and I think went 2-2 or something.
Right. Well, yeah, with Duchesne on forward and you and net, that's a pretty good start. Okay, so then you play 3 years with Lindsay. Are you any good, and are you getting any interest from schools or the OHL or what?
Yeah, we my first year I think we were okay, and since I was 16, I was kind of playing here and there as the backup, and then around Christmas time I kind of got the starter's job, and then
I'm
schools,
16.
yeah, and then some schools started poking around. And then like I was drafted by the Petes in the OHL, and they were kind of in and out a little bit too. And then the next season, we started out like ranked maybe 4th in Canada. We were really good. And then the Petes actually wanted me to go play there, and there were a bunch of schools, and I just decided that I wanted to go to school.
Right. And that's which year in Lindsay? Your first year?
That was my second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
So then you stay for another year, and then when do you get recruited? And then what, like, because basically when I grew up in Elmira, Ontario,
Yeah.
like we played junior B, we stayed at home and played junior B and got scholarships from those leagues. And then I believe, from what I understand now, talking to my shed, is they made a rule that you can then be like, you can go without a release. And then that all of a sudden made the junior leagues around Elmira and everything like considered not as elite. And now they don't get any scholarships, and everybody's like, as soon as they can leave, they leave.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went to Victoria there after my third year, just because the third year wasn't great all around.
You didn't have a scholarship yet?
No, I had a couple offers, but it wasn't kind of what I was looking for. And then so I asked for a trade to Victoria, or well, just to BCHL. It was either that or
so you wanted to go.
Yeah, I wanted to go either out west or to the USHL.
And this is after living at home your whole life?
Yeah, that was another reason to get away. And
you were ready to get out of the nest. You're ready to spread your wings.
Exactly. Spread. I was just going to say that. Yeah. And then, yeah, Victoria was awesome. One of the nicest spots I've ever lived.
Right.
Second to Manchester, of course. But yeah, and then I got a
and they got a great barn, folks.
Yeah. Hey, no, you can't be lying now.
I'm not lying. I love it. I've sat on the toilets in there for hours naked, dressed as a Viking, covered in dirt. And guess who covered me in dirt? Dees. You knew it. Yeah, but yeah, that was one of my pregame speeches. And he said, if it's going to be authentic, I think I need to cover you in dirt, because I was a Viking, right? So he did. But anyways, yeah, nice rink there.
Gets loud.
It gets loud, right? Yeah. And you get a winning team starting to win some games there, she'll just fill up, just like the BBT back in 2014-15 in Cardiff, right?
Is that the 10?
Yeah.
10 I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like the same thing, actually. And we had that place rocking.
Even nicer.
You could say that in some ways, but I'm a big blue tent enthusiast, you could say. Yeah. The Olympic ice sheets. So yeah, you recruit. Let's talk about this then, because I like played on the small sheet, right? And I remember when Andrew Lord called me in the summer, and he's like, how are you going to be playing on like small ice? Because I know you're a little guy. And I'm like, dude, I hate the big ice. I want to play on the small ice. Like that's what I grew up on. That's what I know. Like I like the bumping and grinding. And how are you going to recruit this team? Because you got to do both, right? Your home games are on a small sheet, and then you go play the gigantic ice rinks of Belfast, Sheffield, and Nottingham that are way too warm and exhausting.
Yeah, it's definitely a an area I was looking to improve this year. Like last year, we had a pretty good home record and we were like bad on the road. But I think the way the game's going now, like you have to be able to skate anyways. Even in the smaller rink, guys are so explosive that you can break away. So you need like obviously trying to bring in guys who can skate and move the puck, but also play that kind of grinding and bump and grind game, the kind of ugly hockey, if you will. But
like an Ethan Skinner. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, the game has changed. It's all way faster and everything's moving quicker.
Yeah. But
it's
yeah,
one
like
of the
you
worst
said,
feelings ever playing a hockey game when you feel like you're not being able to keep up. Perhaps if you're fat or something, like, you know.
you just got to be smart.
Well, that's where it ends up. Yeah, that's the tail end, right? So it's the same for goaltenders. Can you just be in the right spot and you don't have to move as much?
Well, if you're a big guy, yeah, I never got blessed with the big size, so I had to move and stuff. But yeah, I'm
You do look pretty skinny, eh?
well, skinny fit. Is that what
Fit? That's what they call it now.
Right?
Fit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're fit. I guess you just retired. Okay. So when did you make Canada East for under 19? Is that when you're on Lindsay?
Third year in Lindsay, yeah.
So I don't think your team did very well based on some the research team looked at, right?
No, yeah. That you can just leave that there. Yeah,
Well,
we didn't do great.
But it's cool to be nominated, and you'd think some schools would be interested at that point, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was still talking to some schools.
Okay, so then you go to Victoria, and then you do commit to Holy Cross. And is that league better, or what did you think of the differences going out to BC?
Yeah, I thought it was a step up from the Ontario League. It was probably, yeah, it would be up there. I think it's the top kind of junior league in Canada. The Alberta League's probably close after it, but
You living in a billet out in Victoria?
yeah.
Billet? Still in high school? You done?
No, I was done.
So what do you do all day?
Workout. No, I'm kidding. Just that was a joke.
You lost me there for a second.
Yeah, no, I took an online course, and then just we had like I think a breakfast club where you'd go into the rink, make sure guys are up, and
yeah, and then you can take like a couple classes, but nothing else because you got to save your eligibility. I did the same. When I had my last year at junior, all I had was I think 2 college courses, right?
Yeah.
Or classes, not courses. Yeah, that was it. It's a pretty easy lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did well there, eh? I got some notes written down here. You played 51 games, and then you played 12 playoff games, and you had a 925 save percentage in the playoffs. So you guys must have done pretty well.
Yeah, we lost in 7 to Powell River. But yeah, I got it. Funny story there. I got introduced to smelling salts for the first time in like game 3, I think. We were playing, and it was the picture I sent India there where I'm like flying through the air. And
yeah.
So I was going out to play the puck, and their guy kind of dove for it. And I hit it, and he got the back of my feet, and I did like a backflip, but it was fine. I broke the fall with my head. So I was like out cold on the ice. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, out cold. It was the first period, and they came out, and they're like, Ginner, like you kind of come to, and gave me the old smelling salt. And he's like, you want to stay in the game? I'm like, yeah. So the rest of the period, I'm just on these like wobbly legs, like just looking at the clock.
So you were out cold, and they used the smelling salts to get you back in the game.
Yeah, is that frowned upon?
I think nowadays.
Now probably, yeah. Well,
but I do know back in the day, if you're a goalie that is good enough to win championships, we're gonna do whatever it takes to keep you in that net.
Yeah, but then I got my legs back in that first intermission there, and good to go.
It's the same with players, man. There wasn't like you were going back out there, right? Like that's the way it was.
Yeah.
Smelling salts, okay? Let's stick with that. I've never talked about that on here. I had never been introduced to them until I got to the AHL. And then
Yeah.
they were passing them down the bench before games, and everybody was doing it. And I was like, well, sure. Why wouldn't I? And then you sniff it and you're like, what? Like, what did that do? It didn't smell good. Like, I'm awake. I'm ready to play hockey. Why did I just do that? But I did it just to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever do that shit?
No, I never did. I was kind of the opposite, just kind of calm, cool, collected guy. So I didn't have to get like rah and get
Did you?
amped up.
So how does it work with goaltenders? Because I can figure out how guys play hockey based on their personalities and how they talk to me in the shed. Is it the same for goalies? Are you kind of cool and calm in the net?
Yeah, I like to think so. Like to joke around a bit out there, and yeah, but also like pretty competitive. So I guess yeah, I'd say a mix of both, but yeah, pretty calm. And
Once it comes down to then you can get a little wound, right?
yeah, I actually like get more wound up on the bench, I think. So
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. Yeah. I did some under 11 coaching last year and I would get wound on the bench. Yeah. Okay. So then you do end up getting the scholarship, eh?
yeah.
Sorry. So you got knocked out. So you guys lose that game then?
No, we came back and won that. I think we were down 1-0 at the time, won like 2-1 in overtime.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got through it. You gutted it out.
Got it or out.
Good for you.
But yeah, we lost in game 7. Tough one.
Shoot. So then when do you get the scholarship to Holy Cross? Did you get it?
It was before then. Yeah, it was before playoffs sometime.
During that year in Victoria?
Yeah.
Okay. So then do you go on recruiting trips anywhere else? Any other schools chatting?
Where before I went to Northeastern and Providence, and then
Northeastern's a busy spot, eh? I went there
Yeah,
for a
right.
recruiting trip.
Yeah, smack dab in the middle of Boston.
And you're from Lindsay, Ontario. I'm from Elmira, Ontario. How'd you feel about it? I was shell shocked.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming for sure.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that, but you were ready to spread your wings. Maybe I wasn't.
Yeah, no. Well, I ended up going to a smaller campus anyways. So
Where is Holy Cross?
it's in Worcester.
Is it?
So
out there.
Yeah, same kind of general area.
Right. Yeah, where the AHL team was.
Yeah.
So then what'd you take? What are you going to school for?
So I didn't declare a major right away. I was looking at accounting. Like I'd always been a big numbers guy, but you had to take calculus twice, and I'd never like done calculus.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted about one class before I knew I wasn't a calculus guy. But I think I passed. That was all that mattered. I passed, and then never took the second one. So accounting was off the table, and then naturally went to sociology major.
Sociology.
Yeah.
Sociology.
Don't ask me what it is.
Well, kind of want to
open a sociology store or something, but
sociology, is that not like
it's like psychology,
right?
kind of,
like
yeah.
Reading people. So when you're calling all these young punks this summer about building a team, you're going to be seeing right into their soul, right?
Yeah, how they interact with people. Get the old Herb Brooks test thing out.
Okay, so your freshman year, though, you probably had an idea you're gonna get some starts, because usually at NCAA, at least at Western Michigan, they kind of had an idea who the starters were at the start of the year, and it kind of just they would battle in practice, but it was all strange. But you played 28 games your freshman year and went 17-8-2.
Yeah, it was a really good year. It was like you said, if early on in the season I had a couple bad starts and then the other guy would play. And then I missed I think 4 weeks, maybe about a month with a concussion.
Oh, you took time off this time.
Yeah, this time I did. Yeah. So, well, I thought too, not a real big time span probably was, or I think it was the team doctor actually that thought probably good to rest. But yeah, so I missed about a month, and then
maybe they were a thing by then, right?
Could have been, yeah. the brain sprain there is called a concussion. So
yeah.
But yeah, and then came back, and our team kind of went on a roll, and it was a really good year.
Okay. So I didn't recognize many names on that team, but your 4 years, you basically start so you go 35, and 31 starts. College hockey, that's pretty well. That's your net, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. The last year, at one point, I think I started 82 games in a row, like from year to year, because the school schedule, right? You play like Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday. So
I was going to ask this later when we talk about how many games you were playing for the Manchester Storm. Do you think Finner broke you?
no.
Okay.
I was broke. I had already had hip surgery before I went there. So
Okay. Just asking, I
yeah.
saw those 2 seasons in Manchester there and a lot of
No,
games, Finner.
it's funny.
A lot of games.
So
Maybe this was his master plan, break you and then groom you.
he's grooming me at that time. No, the year before I went to Manchester, actually, I think I played like 4 or 5 games because I ended up having to have hip surgery. I tried the old cortisone shot and it kind of wore off. So I had to get my hip done. And then when Finner was recruiting me, like, I guess we talked and he's like, yeah, everything looks good. And then I guess he looked back at the stats and called like the guy who recommended him to me. He's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? He played 5 games last year. Like, he's like, oh no, he had hip surgery, like blah, blah, blah. And then, I went from there.
Okay. Anyway, so you had the hip surgery before. Well, it's good that when guys take a chance on guys, right? After a surgery like that, like,
Yeah.
I know after my surgery, I did a lot to just stay in Bietigheim because I knew that elsewhere in Europe, there's not going to be that many teams looking for a guy straight off surgery, especially an import.
Yeah, that's another reason too why I'd stayed in Manchester. Just I was grateful for that, and like you said, it was probably going to be tough to go anywhere after that. So
Yeah. Okay. You gotta have some loyalty, right? When teams take
exactly.
chances on you like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Being named a captain as a goalie. Let's talk about this. How do you
Yeah,
feel about that? You're good with that? You're okay with that?
yeah. There was another guy too. Like college, you usually have 2 captains or one.
Um,
So there was me, and there was a forward also, and it was a team voted one, and we'd actually it was a team vote, and so it was a big
well, that's
honor, and
cool, eh?
it was cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, the double captain. Yeah, college did do that a lot, but that's really cool that your peers voted on you to be the captain as a goalie.
Yeah.
What do you do? What like are you running amok at the parties and at the gym? Like
Yeah. More probably one than the other, but
bringing the boys together all over the place?
exactly. Yeah. Team bonding 101.
Well, hey, sounds like you're the type of guy I'd want to play for. Just let you know. Seriously. That's cool though. So after your 4th year, I think your last year was a great year, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was really good. Even I got like a high ankle sprain there and missed more time. I was sound like an absolute band-aid here, but
Did you get that hurt on the ice or bringing the boys together?
no, that was on the ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Injuries can happen off the ice in
Yeah. And then,
college.
yeah. So I hear, yeah. I knock on wood, that never happened to me, but well,
No,
I'm
never
done.
happened to me either.
Yeah.
No.
Just a friend of a friend.
Okay. So, anyways, after your last year, then what are the pro options?
So yeah, we got beat out. And then Florida called like right away. And
Actually, no, sorry. More questions before we leave college.
okay.
Who does Holy Cross play against? I don't know that league.
So like Air Force, RIT,
Niagara?
yep, Niagara,
Yeah,
AIC, yeah,
that crew.
that crew.
Okay. I know a bunch of Purple Eagles coming to my golf tournament June 25th here in Kincardine, Ontario, folks. We're going to have now a closest to the keg shot. We got some prizes for closest to the pins and long drive, a live band that's going to rock and roll, and a dinner. And registration ends in 2 days. So you're going to have to get your names in at aleshockeytales.com ASAP, right? Because it's going to be a great day. I can't wait. I got like 19 foursomes right now booked of just people like I know, the friends coming to play golf, and it's with a live band.
That's great.
Yeah. Gosh darn it, I'm excited. I got sidetracked. What were we talking about? Pro options.
Yeah.
You went to the Everblades. How'd that happen? Because they got dual affiliation, right? Like,
yeah, so there was some interest like from the AHL, but it'd kind of go and just basically be a backup. And then Florida was pretty straight up that they like I would go in and start, and that's what happened. I think I played 8 of the next whatever games, and
You went 5-1-1. The research team found.
7. I knew it was close ballpark, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So it
then,
was great.
so then my next question though, you went 5-1-1. Those seem to be regular season games. It looked like the team played in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
asked to kindly leave when the AHL goalies came down at the end of the year?
No, no, I was still gonna play. I got injured though, and then I had to go back and also finish up school.
Ah, so you knew you were only going there to show your shit.
Yeah, but I would have stayed and we would have figured it out. But yeah, I got hurt there again.
So did you finish school?
Oh yeah, graduated sociology major,
What do you do with that?
become a hockey coach.
Hockey coach of the Manchester Storm, folks.
There you go.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm excited to see the team you recruit. I bet you they're going to be a lot of great dudes. Anyways, you get to the Everblades. Great spot to play hockey, eh?
Unbelievable.
Like it's weird because you're in the East Coast, and I was with the Daytona Beach Bombers of Ohio all year, and the beaches weren't as nice in Ohio. And then we play them in the semifinals, and we fly down there. Haven't been on a plane all year. We get down there, palm trees, the beach, and the Lani Kai, and a beautiful arena to play in, and they have a ton of fans.
Yeah, yeah. Everything was great. I loved my time there.
Mm-hmm. And you did well. So do you have an agent?
I did. Yeah, I picked one up, I guess my senior year of
when you're running amok. Yeah. So then you go there, you do well, go back and finish school. So then that summer, what do you sign?
I signed an AHL deal with Providence.
One way?
Yeah.
That's how I started pro.
Yeah, a lot of similarities here.
Not really. You're a goalie. I don't know how you guys think. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So then you start, it's a 1-year deal?
Yeah. Yeah, I signed 3 1-year deals there with them. So
you kept signing the 3 all one-way AHLs?
No, the last one was a 2-way.
Because after my 1 year of not getting that much in the A, they offered a 2-way. And I was like, you're just telling me I'm going to be in Daytona Beach again, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's when I left. But
yeah.
Okay, so you left after one more. So yeah, there are a lot of similarities. Okay, so your first year, you go straight to the AHL camp, or do you go to an NHL camp?
I went to the NHL camp.
How's that? I'd never been around it when I went. I'd never been around like the real players. It was freaky.
Yeah, well, the first guy like walked up to me was Chara, and he's like, "Hey, welcome. Like, I'm Zdeno," and I'm like, "Do I say like, yeah, I know who you are," or "Hey, how's it going?" Like, so I was just looking straight up at him too.
It was like when I went, it was like Sergei Fedorov walked in. I was like,
yeah.
holy moly. But I never actually got to play with the real players. Did you?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So how long did you get to stay at the training camp, the NHL one?
It was probably almost a week, maybe a little more.
Good for you. I got 48 hours exactly.
The old NHL per diem.
Yeah, it was nice. I had it for 48 hours. Okay. So then you get down to Providence, and what's the first year I got 36 games for Atlanta there with Nezzy, and then 1 in the AHL. So how were they working it? They were telling you, we want you to play, so you're going down to Atlanta, and then, or what?
Yeah, a little bit. They also had a couple like NHL contracted goalies in Providence. So one got hurt.
Who's that?
So it was Malcolm Subban and Zane McIntyre.
The goalie world's a weird world, man.
Yeah.
When you sign a contract with an NHL team, or like, what's it called? Pipeline. Like they know where they're signing you, and they plan on you being in the 4th or 5th position of those horses, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, exactly. And then Subs got hurt. So it was just Zane and I to start the year, and he played a couple. And then I played in Bridgeport, and I think we lost 2-1, like good game. And then I was in the starters net all next week till like the Thursday. And the coach at the time was Butch Cassidy there, just became Vegas's new coach. and he called me in on the Thursday, and he's like, Ginner, like Subs is back. It sucks. Like you would have played tomorrow, but you're getting sent down. He's like, it just is what it is. Like contract stuff, it is what it is.
And that's how it works, right?
That's
And
how it works. Yeah. They got, yeah. So then,
after the training camp I had with Syracuse, I'll never forget it. It was the first game of the regular season, and the rest of the cuts for the NHL came down, and I had ran amok in the preseason. And the coach walks up to me the day of the game. He says, "This has nothing to do with how you've been playing, but you're not playing tonight."
yeah.
And then you don't play for a couple nights because it has nothing to do with how you're playing. And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, you got to go down the East Coast because you got to play."
Yeah, exactly. And then I got called up. I probably flew across that country 8 different times that year. Just go up, back up for a couple games, and go back down.
Atlanta to Providence.
Yeah, I had the frequent flyer miles going.
Holy moly, that's so. Then how does Atlanta get around? Are they bussing or flying usually?
Oh yeah, we had a bus called, it was the Bone Shaker was the name. It was classic East Coast League bus. It was like a hollowed out transport truck where the driver was right up in like the front part, and then the I don't know, the bed or whatever you call it was hollowed out, and there were just bunks on all sides. So this I can't imagine the suspension was great back there. So we were all over the place, just all over the road.
If we really dissect this, maybe this is where the hip problems start.
Yeah, the brain injuries, maybe. I don't know.
So other guys that live around Atlanta through your 3 years that you might know, okay, that are Shed guys, the Pearsons, Scott and Chase.
Nope.
Nope, don't know them. Okay. Matt Register is on your team. The horse.
Yeah, Reggie.
He wasn't there that long though, that year? Didn't look like.
Yeah, no, he missed. Yeah, something happened. He was gone, like late getting there, and then he got traded at the deadline.
And then I don't think he was there when you were there. Bryce Reddick, was he there?
So I know him from Greenville, and then when he was in
from a Swamp Rabbit time.
Yeah, but then obviously from Cardiff for a couple years as well.
Right. Okay. Anyways, okay, moving on then. So your first year you played 36 games in the coast, 1 in the A. So the rest of the year you're down then? Or I guess you kept going back and forth,
Yeah,
but
it
you
was
never
up and
played
down,
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you re-sign. What's the other goalies in their organization change, or you're signing up to be like slotted 5?
Yeah, no, they were the same. I forget if Subs was there that year or not, but I think they were the same. And then they actually signed another guy, like Boston did. So it was Vladar, Dan Vladar there, Calgary's backup.
Okay, yeah.
So he was
around.
a young guy. So it was him and I in Atlanta together.
It's just a meat market out there, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And they told me they wanted me to like help mentor him and bring him up because he was a young kid and he's a great kid. Like he was an awesome guy.
What is he, Czech?
Yeah. So he was like 19 or 20, like
in pro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What kind of goal is he?
He's good. Big kid. Yeah, he's really good. He had a great year there in Calgary. He got a chance this year. And
I'm so old, the Czech goalies I played against played old school style, right?
Yeah.
Martin Cinnabulk, Landsuit Cannibals, wild goaltending in practice. But he's like traditional then? This Vladar?
Yeah, he's probably 6'5", 6'6", but like
aren't they all now in the NHL?
Yeah, it seems to.
Yeah, we never had a chance.
No.
Okay, so then I don't know what else you want to talk about. The second year, play 48 East Coast games. What happens the second year? Do you go up much?
A couple times just to kind of back up, and then up as, I guess, I don't know if they're called Black Aces in the playoffs in the A, but yeah, just kind of hung out.
Did you ever get frustrated when you're dominating the coast and you're playing great or whatever, and there's just no room? They're not going to call you up because basically goalies only get called up if someone gets hurt or really, really sucks. Yeah.
I would say more in my first year pro because I was kind of new, right?
And you didn't understand how it works.
Yeah, exactly. And then the first one there where I got sent down and Butch said you were playing tomorrow, but management, whatever. I was like, okay, that's a bit of an eye opener. And then kind of the second and third year, I knew kind of what they wanted from me down there and stuff.
So then what happened? The third year's when you hurt your hip then.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in the summer. I was skating and like you can just tell something's wrong. And then I got it looked at, like flew down to Providence. And they said it was like the whole torn labrum, impingement, blah, yada yada. So I got a cortisone shot and we hoped to get maybe 2 and get through the year. And the first one lasted like, I don't know, less than a month and then had to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like how many cortisone shots can you take, right? Until it's like, let's actually
I
fix
don't
it.
think it's great.
Right. You may as well just like fix it.
Yeah. So then I had it done in Providence and then was there like rehabbing basically the rest of the year and came back at the end, just backed up a little bit, but that was it.
Being hurt sucks though, eh?
Yeah. It was a great group of guys. So at least I looked at the positive, like got to
Yeah.
nice city there.
And you're on a 1-year deal though. So then that's all over and you're a free agent right off hip surgery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there wasn't tons of bites at that point, and then Manchester came along and
That's when Mr. Finnerty courses you to Manchester, eh?
Yeah.
So how does that work? Did you have an agent at that point? Or are you talking to Finner direct or how's that go?
I still had my same guy from that I'd had, but he was a North American guy, and then just talked to Finner directly.
Right. So then your first thoughts when you get over to the UK, you walk into that barn, eh? What do you think?
He did it. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He's like, the barn's bad, blah, blah, blah. He almost like exaggerated how bad it is. Cause you go in and then you're like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Like whatever.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Like the arenas I was coaching around here in under 11, like they're barns. Like it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, it's great. And then you play a little bit and like I said, it gets loud. Like the fans are right on top of you and they're loud and passionate and get the drums going. And I like it. Like it's whatever. Nice home ice advantage rink.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going with the guys that can get dirty and can be fast in that little rink.
Exactly.
Okay. First season over there though, 59 starts, eh, Finner? Just off hip surgery. Right?
Yeah, no, perfect. Throw you right in there.
So
you did ask, make sure I could do it.
Right. Well, how many hockey players have you heard say they can't?
Yeah, good point.
Huh? If anybody ever asked me if I could play, I usually could. Right.
Yeah.
So do goalies get tired? Because now in hockey, they always talk about having like 2 goalies and all that stuff. I just find it interesting.
Yeah, I never find playing back to back that tough.
Right. So like, why are they doing that all the time now? They literally won't let goalies play back to back. Like,
yeah. Well, in the NHL, anyways. Yeah.
Right.
The coast, you still probably have the 4s and 5s and whatnot, but
right.
Yeah. No, I like it. Like I think you get into a groove, kind of playing all the time, and like guys get banged up throughout the year, anyways, and play through it. Like you're never going to feel unbelievable every game. So yeah, right. I liked it.
I agree. Okay. I always found it interesting because I know when I played with the most competitive goalies, they wanted that net to be their net. They didn't want to have to think about not playing the next game. They wanted to know it was theirs. And like, there'd be a reason why they wouldn't be playing if it's like against the last place team or something. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's how you felt as a goalie.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay. So then probably coach that way.
Well, we'll see.
You guys haven't signed a goalie then, I'm assuming, or announced it?
No, we haven't announced anyone yet.
Big shoes to fill when the coach is at the former star goalie, eh?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how I'll be on goalies. Probably pretty understanding.
Hopefully, right? Yeah. Hopefully you're not going to be too hard on him when he doesn't make the save you would have, right? You wouldn't tell him that. I know. It's okay.
No.
Okay. So then easy decision to go to Manchester. I get that. What else do I got? So then the UK league, is it not weird as a goalie and as like whatever, say, oh, you're a smaller budget in Manchester. You're not in the league race come Christmas. And then there's the Challenge Cup and then there's the playoffs, right? Like it's an interesting thing, the league race, if you're not in it, right?
Yeah, it is. Like you're always, yeah, like if I guess if you're out of the kind of title race, you like you said, you look to the playoffs or the Challenge Cup kind of thing. Like you always want to make the playoffs. So there's always something to play with or play for, sorry.
Yeah. No, definitely. The playoffs are the big one. And then like anybody can win those. The league, like there's like the 2, 3 teams that are like in the race at the end. And then that last couple of months for the other teams, they're just trying to be pricks, right? And
Yeah,
like,
play spoiler and
yeah, it's an interesting league that way.
yeah.
Okay. Year 2, 49 games played. So the hip's still doing good, eh?
Yeah, still holding up.
Um,
And that was the COVID shortened year too. So we lost probably 8 games at the end of the year.
well, I saw that you were 18-30 and you had a 921 save percentage. Usually teams that don't have that good at a winning record, their goalies, it's hard to have a high save percentage because, you know, you're not doing very well. So you must have been stopping some pucks. Eh?
Yeah, I was fairly busy. But we didn't give up tons of goals. We just didn't score lots. Like we were that like greasy. We were young that year too, but just a hardworking like young team.
Yeah.
Win 2-1, lose 2-1 kind of thing.
Okay. So then that year gets shortened. So then
Yeah,
how
I
does
got
it all
canned.
go? How do you become a swamp rabbit?
Lordo called actually, and I knew him from Cardiff. He knew me. We actually beaten them, I think, a couple times the year before.
Right, because you had a 921 save percentage. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I could just picture how you became a swamp rabbit and you would have been standing on your head in the other big blue tent. And Lord would have been like, this is pissing me off so much. And then he goes to Greenville and becomes a swamp rabbit. And he's like, I need him to be a swamp rabbit too.
Yeah. And he had actually, there were probably 6 or 7 of us from the EIHL from the year before. Like he had a couple of Cardiff guys. He had Brendan Connolly.
And then when you talk around your shed, that's what coaches want, are guys they know and guys they can trust, right? And guys they know what they're going to get out of. And he'd know what he's going to get out of the guys he's watched play in the EIHL, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And then, so I just played the one game there actually. And then another team wanted me and he's like, hey, look, we have, like, they had 2 affiliates, I think. And he's like, this is kind of the situation here again. Like, we're going to play kind of the draft picks. Would you want to go to Kansas City? So I'm like, yeah, sure. So he traded me to Kansas City and then.
So he did it right with you then too, right?
Yeah, I like Lord a lot. I talked to him actually this summer a few times, picking his brain about coaching. He had a little bit of success in the UK, so
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. No, that's good. And he is a good dude. And he is a hockey brain you'd want to pick.
exactly, yeah. It's preparation and just
He is very passionate and
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you play the one game with the Swamp Rabbits. So Samuel Jardine and Haddadi are on that team.
Oh yeah. George Reds was there too.
And Reds was there. So then you're not there long. So you play one game, but how long are you there?
Probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So then Kansas City. I'm not even exactly sure where that is.
Missouri.
Right. So you played 22 games with them. What's that like? What, they got a good barn in Kansas City?
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice actually. It's the Cable Dahmer. And they have I liked it. It was nice weather there too and played lots. And that was kind of the end of that year, was kind of where I started like getting the old back and hip pain back and the beginning of the end.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
So this is when the hip surgery starts failing you.
A little bit. Yeah, I was getting like back spasms.
So I got I think it was 6 more years out of my knee after my surgery.
Yeah.
You only got like what, 2, 3?
Yeah, 4,
3,
maybe 3 or 4.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I got like 6, man. That's pretty good. And then I was toast. Tits on toast,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a few more, that's for sure.
It's fun. It's fun when you can do it, right? And you're with a team of all the guys and yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so Kansas City though, Brody Reed was on your team running amok. He just re-signed with Cardiff, eh?
Yeah, yeah, he'll be shadowed next year though. That he'll be a non-factor against us.
Right. He doesn't seem like a guy that really gets. He just kind of like is in all the quiet areas and just always in the right spot to like score a goal.
He's good. Yeah, he's a smart player, like really smart player. Goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I
25
let him get a
goals.
couple on me in the few games I played last year.
Well, the research team always is curious about goaltending and what that lifestyle is like. It must be the competitive nature and minor pro in North America for you guys. That year with Kansas City, 10 goalies on the roster, 8 played games.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it was before I got there.
And
Yeah, so there was
because
just
that's what they want a goalie that like is their goalie, right? Like that's what we're
yeah,
doing.
yeah. I think there were only like I don't know 3 of us maybe in my whole time when I was there, maybe 4, including like when I missed time. So
Okay. 8 goalies before that. Okay. But yeah, the East Coast, man, it's a bloodbath for goaltending and players, right?
it's crazy. Yeah,
Then the college season ends and all those young punks come out, or the OHL ends and they come
yeah.
and you're like, Jesus.
And then teams will send like their affiliate players down, and then yeah,
Their
there'll
team
be
doesn't
guys
make
who
the
play for like
playoffs. Yeah, the
yeah,
AHL team doesn't make the playoffs, and then they bring more guys down, and
oh
yeah,
yeah.
wild stuff. Okay, so one of the goalies though that played a game, was he there when you were there? Taryn Cozen.
No, he was before me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, 2021 says is when you actually started your coaching career. The research team found with the Lindsay Muskies.
Yeah, it was before well, it was during COVID before I signed with Greenville.
Okay, so how long were you there?
That would have been a few months, maybe. Yeah. I think I went to Greenville in January, give or
Okay,
take.
so have you always thought you were going to be a coach?
Yeah, it was something I'd like to get into.
You always knew
Kind of
that.
came a little earlier than I expected, but yeah, like I said, I'm yeah, thrilled.
So would you consider yourself an X and O's guy, a relationship guy, or like a rah-rah guy?
I think can you say a combo of all three? No, I think
I
like
think
you
that's
have
what
to
you're
be
supposed to do now, right?
yeah, yeah. You have to be
Are you a
detailed.
video guy?
Um yes and no. Like I think you need to be
You
detailed
can do
enough
too much
and
video. I'm telling you right now, you could
big time.
lose me real quick.
Big time. But yeah, you have to be detailed enough that the guys buy into what you're treat or preaching, so they know you or they think you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then also like I don't think you necessarily have to like pump guys up at this. You shouldn't have to at this point in their career. And
I
like
think they
playing
got
pro
enough to
hockey.
play for usually, right?
Yeah, and then yeah, like you said, I think like relationship wise is it's huge too. Like you don't want to have coach versus players. It's everybody pulling together and one team really. And then if you have to step in and be a dick sometimes, hey, it's
Well,
life.
that's the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good enough. No, yeah, I was gonna say something else, and then I forgot what it was again. God, I've been doing that a lot lately. Anyways, so when you were an assistant coach, what was your role then last year?
It started out um just kind of helping out or whatever. And then I think one practice, Finner's like the power play was in a big slump and he's like, you have to deal with these guys. Like you take the power play, it's yours, do whatever. So then started off running the power play and started getting kind of more responsibility from there. So like with game planning and kind of breaking down the other team and whatnot. And then yeah, kind of evolved a little bit.
Well, some people may wonder why like Finner would be given the PP to a goalie, but I remember playing with Alfie Michaud and Sundaruski, and he would have it written down like the pre-scout as the goalie. He sat beside me in the locker room. He would have where everybody stood on the power play, their tendencies. He'd have it all written out. Like, and he would talk to his defensemen of where they had to stand, which lane they had to take for the passes. So he knew which shot he was going to get and which passes they were going to take away. And you guys all see that shit, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Like you know what worked against you. So
Right. Yeah, no, and that's how goalies become head coaches, I guess, eh?
Yeah, we have a pretty good view of the whole game. So
Well, I'm excited for you, dude.
yeah, thank you.
hmm Um, Interesting. You're groomed from Finner, who's one of my favorite Ched guys, you know?
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So is he your boss, I guess?
Yeah, I'd
When
say
the day
technically.
comes that
Yeah.
like you
He's
you maybe you got to get your ass canned, it's gonna come from him.
yeah.
hmm Okay. Well, that happens in the head coaching world, right?
Happens.
hmm Well, you got anything else today?
No, I just thanks for having me on. Actually, one thing before I leave, I don't know if fans have seen, but the GoFundMe there for Joey Rats, the former Coventry player. If he can donate. He got diagnosed with cancer, and he's kind of on his own just to pay for his own medical expenses. And yeah, so if you can donate, and I think I retweeted it, and Coventry's and a bunch of teams have retweeted it, or we retweeted it. Sorry. So yeah, anything you can give helps him through a tough time.
Right. Actually, I think I am somewhat busy here, but yeah, I need to get that out there too, because in the hockey world, like when we talk to guys in our shed and we've lived all over the place, there's some loopholes in the healthcare world, right? That guys can get in some very serious situations when it comes to their health and being covered. And that's what's happened, right? He's moved back home to the US, doesn't have health care, and he's got himself in a tough situation, right?
Yeah, he wasn't able to get insurance, and he's on his own to pay, I guess, for his medical expenses.
Just
And
to make sure he can survive and live, right?
exactly, yeah.
So yeah, folks, please help any way you can. I'll got to get that out there too. But anyways, it's been great getting to know you, and thank you for making the time for me. And it is not 6 a.m., so don't worry about that.
No, yeah, thanks, Wally. That was a blast.
No, I love this stuff. And then maybe someday we'll get you and Finner on together, eh?
Perfect. Yeah, hopefully it's at about the end after you're like, wow, you guys had such a great year finishing at the top of the table.
Exactly. And then you're going to be busy on your phone for the next month or so, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, busy times getting a team together. And it's going to be fun for you, though, to get to actually pick your own team, right? And then get to make them your own. That would be fun.
Yep. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. And this has been another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Ginner and Wally.